Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we are going to be talking about Dear Evan Hansen. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. This movie is based off a well known Broadway musical. I know there are plenty of fans of this musical. I, for one, have never seen it. I know nothing about Dear Evan Hansen. So, I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on it. But I know it definitely has its fans. I know you can literally just go on YouTube right now, look up Dear Evan Hansen songs. And I think there's like these little things called these animated versions of these songs that I think are quite good, and they likely have quite a bit of views. So yeah, people like the music. People are fans of the music. People are fans of the musical. So it has a fan base. So I would consider that a relative pro. So yeah, that's pro number one. Pro number two, this is the only new movie coming out this weekend. I say this because well, Courageous Legacy, that's a re-release, and Eyes of Tammy Faye came out last weekend. Granted, it was a limited release, but it still came out last weekend, and it's going wide this weekend, so it's not quite new. This is legit new. It was meant to come out this very weekend for quite a long time, actually. So the release date for this was set in stone. So yeah, so it's obviously gonna have a bigger spotlight on. It's gonna have a much. The spotlight's gonna be on this way more than the other two movies. So yeah, I would consider that another pro. It's the only new movie coming out this weekend. What else? Well, this is neither a pro or a con. It's just the whole musical genre. Musicals can be a very mixed bag. I mean, we've had plenty of successful musical movies the past 2 decades, from Chicago, the Dreamgirls, to Hairspray, Mamma Mia, Les Mis, Greatest Showman, some of the Disney musicals. I can go on. But at the same time, we've had bombs like Cats. We've had bombs like In the Heights. We've had bombs like Rock of Ages. Okay, so the musical genre is never guaranteed to have success. Its success rate is not the greatest in the world. So that might hurt Dear Evan Hansen, especially when we get to the cons. But it's still something to point out. Like, the musical genre can either go one way or it can go the other way, and you really don't want to go the other way. So yeah, there's that. But now we get to the cons. Con number one: many people have roasted this movie ruthlessly because of the protagonist here, Evan Hansen, who's portrayed by what's his name, Ben Platt, who was who portrayed him in the original Broadway musical. The dude is 27 years old, yet he is playing a teenager, a high school, despite the fact he's 10 years older than a high schooler. And when you look at the movie, when you look at the trailers and whatnot, you look at him in this role, it does not look right. It does not fit at all. It looks bad. And his when he got a lot of crap about it, he said, "Oh, there have been plenty of times where like super old people play teenagers on screen." And he has a point. This is not the first time this has happened. I mean, look at Riverdale on the CW. all those all those characters are supposed to be teenagers, yet you will not convince me for a second that they are teenagers. They are in their like late 20s, some in their 30s, and I'm supposed to buy them as teenagers. Okay. And then another more obscure example, this was in 2017, Monster Trucks. Some of you probably forgot that movie even existed. I don't blame you. But the main character of that movie, Lucas, Lucas Till, he's like late 20s, right? Also late 20s. He's also a high school student. And what's worse is that he's actually um surrounded by actual kids, so it just makes him stand out even more. It makes him even feel even more out of place. So yeah, this, like, I understand this why they do this, because of child labor laws. This is their way to get around it. I get that. But still, it looks weird, and it's just a visual turnoff for many people. So yeah, the whole 27-year-old playing a teenager just doesn't sit right with anyone. So let's consider that a con. Another con, reviews are not good at all. They haven't been good since the reviews first dropped. A lot of people seem to be uncomfortable with the story and how things play out and what the main character does. Again, I don't know anything about the musical, but yeah, that from what I've heard, the story can be a pretty big turnoff. It can make a lot of people uncomfortable in the worst way possible. And yeah, that could definitely hurt this movie. But that's just what the critics think. We have to see what the fan base thinks. The people who really like the musical, what do they say about the adaptation? Like, I think until we know what the fans think, then you know, none of this really matters, because there have been plenty of times where critics say one thing, but the fans say another thing. Right? That's happened like once a week. So, yeah, but still, reviews are not good. Anyone who, any normie, I guess, will look at the reviews and say, "Oh, it's like a 50%." I don't think I want to watch that. So, yeah, I would consider that a con too. Uh, Another last con, third con. Competition after this is going to be brutal. It's, I mean, we got Venom again, Venom 2, Many Saints of Newark, No Time to Die, Halloween Kills, Dune. Just that's just like the next 4 weeks. That is going to be rough. That is going to be unforgiving, and there's no chance this movie is going to survive against all that competition. So this movie has 1 week of glory before it gets destroyed. So yeah, that's a pretty bad con too. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all I can say for this movie. So opening weekend, oh man, I'm going to say $5 million or more. That's where I'm comfortable. I know I've said $5 million many times recently, because that's where I feel comfortable. I don't feel like, raising my expectations too high, because when that happens, then it's gonna blow up in my face. I mean, that's what happened within the Heights. That's what happened with Reminiscence. I don't want that happening again. So I'm gonna lowball it and say 5 million. But if it's lucky, it could reach close to 10. But yeah, I'm going to go with 5 million, and then overall it might reach like 15 million or something. Depends on how front loaded it is, again, with the fan base and whatnot. But then that'll be it. So yeah, that's Dear Evan Hansen. Final movie we're gonna talk about this weekend is Eyes of Tammy Faye, and the next weekend we got four movies to cover. Oh, then thankfully, rest of October, well, at least the mid October isn't too bad. You got one movie in No Time to Die, two for Halloween Kills and Last Duel, two for Doing Wrong's Gone Wrong. Right at the end, four more movies. Jesus Christ. Why? Why October? Why are you doing this to me? But yeah, that's gonna be October. It's gonna be quite the month, I can tell you that. But yeah. Anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage of all previous prediction videos I made this year from all the big movies and the small movies. Cover them all, just about all of them. So if you want to watch any of those, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I just did one about Clifford being added back onto the 2021 schedule, coming out in November and on Paramount Plus, and Fantastic Beasts 3 moving to April of next year. So if you want to watch that or any other canceled episodes I made, there's now 82. That way you're up to date on all these movies. You can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. My summer 2021 recap. The first video's been recorded. Now I got to record the second video, and I will publish those two videos over the weekend. And as for the September recap, that will come out first week of October, like midweek, like right after the first opening week, the first weekend of October. So expect that then. But if you want to watch any of the other box office recap videos I made, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.